carrying a full load of hours, thanks to the student teaching helping a lot on that, and taking every night course I could get. And the way the thing was, I could get into afternoon classes. There weren't many of those, but I could get into them. Well, anyway, I wanted to be a coach as well as a teacher, so I was very interested in the fact that KREMLIN's Mr. JANTZEN, Coach JANTZEN, if I'm not misremembering his name, was an outstanding coach. It was not a big school, of course. He competed against schools of similar size, but they were doing very well in basketball. And so if it was a Saturday night game, I tried to get out to see it as often as possible. And I was really impressed with the way those kids played. They were very, very good on defense. Definite patterns that you could see what was going on, and that the kids knew what was expected on offense patterns. And this was the day when Hank Iba was a great coach at, I believe it was Oklahoma State, and won lots of games and was prominent on the national scene, stressing defense. Now he again was like Coach JANTZEN. JANTZEN obviously is a disciple of his. But good offense, but tremendous defense. So a time or two, I managed to be up there when he was having practice. And boy, I wanted to see him run his practices. And it was a sight to see. Boy, he ran the same things over and over. And I could see right away that his philosophy was, we don't have to have a lot of different strategies and different defenses and different offenses, but we better execute what we do use very, very well. I remember being up there watching a practice, and he was telling the kid, you're not doing that screen right. And the kid didn't get it in words, and so he stops the whole practice, goes out there, and with the grace of a ballet dancer, and he was a rather hefty fellow, he would demonstrate that screen. There was another time I was watching, maybe it was the same night, don't remember, and it was a move that you needed to make to get around a good defensive man when you needed to get into a cut. And again, the boy wasn't getting it. He went out there and executed it 2 or 3 times. And by the way, after he had done that, probably partly so that it wasn't so much against the one little guy, he'd have everybody practice what he had just demonstrated. And he would watch, and it had to be just right, or you got to do it several times. Good coaching, good man, good teams. Well, with the birth of our second child, our Rita was born in January, I think January 26th, with everything that was going on, halftime teaching, carrying a good load of hours. That year was almost a blur. It just passed so fast. And by the way, one of my typist students that I didn't mention in that last video was Glenn Bagley, and you'll hear about him later when I'm talking about the time of being in the 325th Hospital Training Unit, which was our reserve unit. It didn't make any difference if you've been in the Army, Air Corps, or the Marines, or whatever. If you were in the reserves, maybe not the Marines, but if you were in the Army Reserves, you were in the Medical Service Corps Hospital Training Unit. And Lynn ended up being one of many Enid boys that joined as we were activated. You'll hear a little bit about him and his mother later. So let's say the year went by fast, getting ready for graduation, gonna be through with that bachelor's degree.